TDS recently added a new mode called Challenge Maps, a step up from your usual game but with some modifiers and cool rewards, allowing you to get some rare items that would usually cost Robux. The first challenge was Juggernaut, the map dead ahead, a short path map rated insane. This challenge takes Fallen mode and gives enemies a high defense, tank and bloated modifiers, increasing the difficulty harshly. Something to also notice is that you can only play up to 3 players compared to the usual 4 in Fallen. Before we start the video, consider subscribing and liking the video as it helps me out a lot. And feel free to join my Discord server in the link in the description to have a chance of appearing into my videos and having a good time. First game, I was put into a game with Washington Eagles and some other person who I won't attempt to say. For this game I brought Golden Cowboy, Engineer, Golden Pyromancer, Commander and Farm. Washington Eagle brought Farm, Engineer, Medic, Mercenary Base and Minigunner, whilst the other person then brought Farm, Accelerator, DJ, Pyromancer and Jester. Whilst looking at these players' loadouts, I noticed Washington Eagles had a staggering win ratio of 0.05, the lowest I have ever seen. I started off by placing a level 0 cowboy whilst I figured out how this mode worked, noticing a singular abnormal had 12 health instead of just 5. We leaked a few but that wasn't a problem. Whilst the other 2 farmed, I leveled up my cowboy in hopes of defending the oncoming waves. I then placed another cowboy and upgraded it to level 2, and a teammate with the long name placed down a golden pyromancer, which would now become our main DPS. I then placed my golden pyromancer up near the start to kill enemies faster, along with placing down my farms. For the next few waves I decided to focus on farming as I need to start getting some main DPS down. Wave 7 introduced heavies which had a very high 32 health. Lucky enough our pyromancer was able to deal with them without a problem. I decided to then start spamming cowboys as I thought this would be a good idea due to the boss on wave 10 and the hiddens on wave 13, something the pyromancers may struggle with. I then noticed that Washington had placed down an army of engineers at the back of the map, which saved us from taking a huge amount of damage from this boss. I thought that upgrading my cowboys to level 2 would ensure that hiddens weren't a problem. I placed another pyromancer to help with the crowd control with the hiddens, which worked in our favour. Player with the long name then placed a DJ whilst Washington continued with their engineers. I also hadn't noticed the mercenary base until now, which had become a vital part of our survival later on. Breakers started to enter and I was able to start placing my first engineers whilst player with a long name decided to place jesters. I then placed 3 max level commanders and forgot about them until later in the game. Fallens were surprisingly not a problem, and we got through wave 20 without any issues. Player with a long name started placing their accelerators and I continued to upgrade my engineers. I then noticed something off with the riot guards, but didn't think much of it. Found this fellow running back home as I'm assuming he was too afraid of our amazing team. Bless him. Finally upgraded my first engineers to max level, leaving me feeling really confident that we had this game. As I continued to upgrade my engineers to max level, the glitchers tried to make a break for it but instead chose to send breakers out instead. That didn't end well for them either. Wave 28 passed without a problem, mostly things getting spawn killed. Wave 30 wasn't upon us, probably the scariest wave in Fallen apart from wave 40. It is quite common in the TDS community for when people reach wave 30 to pray and hope for some reason, even though the tank definitely won't get through. We handled the enemies before the tank without a problem, but the tank then spawned with 12,000 health, double its normal base health. As it rushed past the start defense, the health trickled down but even got hit by the Jester. The engineers were able to defeat it without a problem, minus the fact that the tank reached halfway through the map. Not much happened wave 31, 32 and 33, so just have a speed up of it. Actually the best song in TDS. Wave 34 decided to turn my mouse off in OBS, allowing me to get some cool shots without having the free camera. Wave 35, the Warden spawned with 8,000 health, but quickly left the match. Wave 36, the tanks pushed extremely far into our defences, but we defeated it without much of a problem. I decided to place as much as I could by sending my farms, as it became clear that we did not have enough to defeat the Fallen King. I decided to place some more pyromancers down, as I thought this is the only thing I really could place with the amount of stuff I've got left. Wave 38 was no problem, but the tank suddenly poofed into thin air with quite a lot of health remaining. I wonder how that happened. Wave 40 then rolls around, and we are met with the Fallen King. With 300,000 health on a short-laned map, I was preparing for the worst. Usually the Fallen King only has around 150,000 health, so this is a 100% increase. We struggled to defeat the Fallen Guardians, but once we had, the Fallen King's health fell so slowly. I started to move my towers frantically, hoping to move them quick enough to the back as the health of the Fallen King slowly went down. As the Fallen King reached the middle of the map, he decided to swing his sword and stun loads of our towers. My teammates, who I definitely had not forgotten about, used their medic ability and I started using my commander ability. Definitely didn't forget about that. Now, I'm going to let you watch from here. Just look carefully at the Fallen King's health. A last ditch effort from me, I started placing down even more engineers because I didn't think we were going to make it. Huh? What? We won? What? Yeah, I was really confused on how we just went from a very high amount of health to 0 to the point where I didn't even realise. After doing a bit of research into this, it seems that the riot guard, or units in general, for some reason were doing an extremely high amount of DPS, and we're talking thousands a second. I've linked a video in the description from Elite who describes this issue because it's game breaking. You can go into the game right now and basically win without doing anything. However, we won, all due to the riot guard that sacrificed their life for a victory that we probably don't even deserve. Upon winning, I received 900 XP, 125 gems, 4 tickets and apparently 2 nukes. I felt quite confused but happy, and this is how I beat the first challenger map in the new TDS update. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing and liking, as this took me hours to create. Remember to join the Discord server in the link in the description if you want to have a good time and be a part of one of my videos. I hope to see you there. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.